Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Redflex, the one and only channel in the whole world, run by four brothers who support Manchester United and who live in Manchester, and today, who even wear the same clothes.
Very similar clothes, to be honest. Yeah,
very similar clothes today. So much, in fact, that my nephew thought I was his dad. But anyway, that's a different story. But today, we're talking about the Greenwood agenda. But before we talk about the Greenwood agenda, I want to talk about the TV loves me agenda that you three have against me. So, if you don't know, I am the elder statesman of all the brothers. I am the eldest. But there seems to be a lot of shows happening behind my back. Obviously, everyone has a certain role to fulfill within the group, but certain people's eyes are on my role. But okay, you know what I mean? Who needs enemies when you've got, bro? Anyway, let's not go there. But we're talking about agendas.
I think it's very unfortunate. What your views are very unfortunate, Usman. I think everyone's just trying to make it all tick along. That's all it is.
No, I think there's a there's an active agenda to take me out, but it's okay. It's okay. The elder statesman.
I think just
show me some respect. Show me some respect.
I think because of that, you've had to up your game. I think because of that.
My game was already high. But anyway, I might. If you wish to see now, the rival channel might have to come. You know, if this carries on.
I think we need a poll.
Yeah, I might have to do a poll. Get Cass on the Insta polls. See if I need to do a rival channel. Anyway, we're talking about the agenda. The agenda is real, I feel. What do you think the agenda is? The reason. All right, first of all, let's cut to the chase. Do you think there is an agenda against Mason Greenwood? Yes or no?
I think yes, because I think there's quite a few different things that would get the kind of UK press to kind of go ahead with that line. I think purely because number one, he plays for Manchester United. Number two, he's a young lad. He's very rich. And a third one, which I've heard some people say, which I don't particularly agree with, is because he's from one of the BeIN communities, it kind of gets highlighted a little bit more, just like it does with.
So you don't agree with that? You don't agree with that?
I don't. No. I think at this point in time, he only hit the press once he started actually doing things which he shouldn't have been doing. So because of that, I mean, it might be highlighted more, but I think it only got into the media because there was something there to be put into the media.
So he gave them an excuse, but now they're running with it. So I'm going to put it to you. I'm going to talk about this in my brand new show, exclusive daily show from tomorrow, about this very thing and my point of view, where I feel as though it is an active agenda. Okay, I agree with your point that he's given himself the opportunity, but I think that regardless,
I've heard about an agenda. I've heard about an agenda.
Yeah. Listen, you're the guy. You're the guy who's trying to take me out. You're trying to take me out. You're the main reason. The main culprit.
The Red Express. Make sure you watch the second episode of the Red Express, only on YouTube, live and exclusive.
Make sure you watch the Red Hot Topic tomorrow live on YouTube. I'll be bringing that to you. He brought himself. I don't know. He brought Mr. Movember. Brought his game. Mr. Movember, come. Okay, it's all right. But anyway, so I actively feel okay. Yes, he did something wrong, but I feel as though even if he didn't do anything wrong, the fact that he's now in the England squad as a young man of ethnic minority, let's say, because my topic tomorrow is going to be about any ethnic minority footballer, not just black young. Let's just put it how it is. He's a young black male. So I think there is an agenda. I think okay. You think it's not an agenda in that a racial agenda. You think it is an agenda because he's a Man United player and he's a young man who earns a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I put this to you. I put this to you. There was two people involved that day in the very incident that you're talking about. Yes. One.
Yeah.
Mason Greenwood.
Foden. Yeah.
And the other one, Phil Foden. Have you read any stories about Phil Foden at all to do with his temperament, his mental health. Man City feel as though he may not be on the right path. Have you?
No, there hasn't been anything.
Why? Why have you not heard that? Why? Is it because Mason Greenwood is so bad? Or because what he did was so bad, even though it was the same thing?
It's the same thing. Yeah, I agree. I mean,
so why is Phil Foden's name not in the media? He plays for a big club. He's a young man with a lot of money.
He also plays for a big club, but Man United are the biggest club in the world. They sell newspapers. They get the views. So anything that's said about Manchester United would be highlighted, even though Man City are a huge club, would get highlighted tenfold compared to Man City.
Don't have any fans, therefore there's not enough clicks. I agree with that bit. Yeah, there's nothing there for them. You just carry on with your point while I just sort out some issues.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, I feel at this point in time, it's not to do with race. It's not to do with anything other than he's a young lad. He's shown extremely he's shown on the pitch. He's been amazing. People think he's got the potential to be one of the kind of the, let's say, top 5 maybe in the league in terms of a striker, or maybe maybe. Yeah, I mean, I think it's because I think he's been built up so much by the media, and that's sold newspapers, and now they're trying to find a way to kind of peg him down one or two pieces.
I don't think the media built him up at all. I don't think the media built him up at all. Like, to be fair, outside of Man United fans, not that many people knew about him until the fact that he was scoring almost every game. He brought himself to the limelight. He's not one of those. I don't know if you remember, or you do remember, Joe Cole, when he was like 15, 16, he was being hyped in the media before he'd even kicked a ball. He was being hyped.
Gaza. He was the next Gaza, wasn't he, apparently?
So this was not Mason Greenwood. He was not this guy like from 14 years old, 15 years old. People were talking about him. Like, everyone had heard of Joe Cole before he even played the first game. So this is not that. He's brought himself into the limelight because of his performances. So I'll put it to you again, in a different one, as using a different example. Okay, so you've said to me that Phil Foden did not get the limelight because his team is not as big as Manchester United. Yeah?
Yeah.
He plays for City, which is a smaller club in terms of fan base.
And also in terms of the kind of on-field performances and on-field action, between Phil Foden and Greenwood, I think there's a massive difference. Greenwood's kind of ahead of him in terms of his development in the first team as well.
Oh, you know what? There'll be a lot of people who disagree with you there. If you actually see Phil Foden play, he's probably one of the most naturally talented footballers in England. But anyway, okay. So Phil Foden doesn't get mentioned because of this. Okay. Do you think there's a reason behind Greenwood's recent lack of first team football? There's a few rumors around.
There's a lot of rumors. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
so in terms of like his friend, who obviously unfortunately committed suicide, and obviously it's having a mental toll on him, do you think that's a valid reason? If that's the case, do you think that's a valid reason for him to not be performing as he should?
Yeah, I think so. If you got issues off the field, then it does affect your performance. I think it would affect your performance in any line of work, to be fair.
So do you think it's fair that the media are trapping him in the sense that, he's having a training ground bust up with Bruno Fernandes, things like that? Do you think that helps his situation, or do you think that helps his mental health?
No, that wouldn't.
Okay, so the reason why I'm bringing you down this path and giving you this, asking you these questions is the same thing happened to a Manchester United footballer, the name of Harry Maguire, who was actually, I was going to say sentenced, but he wasn't sentenced, but he was arrested. Yeah, he was arrested. Like, he actually did something. He was arrested. There's still an ongoing court case, so I won't mention it too much. But what happened when it was him? Let's help him out. He's obviously going through a mentally tough time. Let's not, put it on him too much. He's a young guy. Where's the energy for Mason Greenwood? The same energy that was for Harry Maguire, where they were like, it's a mental torture on him. Depression's a real thing. Let's not, put too much pressure on him. Let's take him out of the limelight. Why is it not the same for Mason Greenwood and Harry Maguire? Now you're talking about the same team. The same team.
Yeah, I understand your point completely, but I think at the time when he was in the newspaper, Maguire, he was getting a lot of flack at the time as well.
I think the only reason he got extra flack is because his performances, he was giving away goals for fun. Had he been
even
taken out the limelight,
even at the time of the incident, he was in the paper a lot, and he was getting a lot of abuse, a lot of kind of stick from everyone. Similar to what Greenwood's getting, I think, at the time.
Personally, I think it died down a lot faster. Like this Greenwood incident now, this is the last international break, and now we're on the one after that, and we're still talking about Greenwood, whereas Harry Maguire, soon as it was like, oh, he needs to play for England again, and yeah, he scored a header, and yeah, showed a bit of grit and determination, and then it was gone. But now we're on the second international break, and we're still talking about Mason Greenwood.
I think the issue with Maguire is because it's a kind of ongoing legal case, no one can really say anything because it's still ongoing. So you actually can't make any comments about anything at this point.
No, but if you're a paper, all you need to do is put the word allegedly in there.
Allegedly, yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
That's all you need to do. You could, if you want to talk about it, all you got to say is allegedly this, or sources state this. So if they wanted to talk about it, they could
maybe they could, yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I think, the Man United connection is always a connection. So if you find any Man United player who has an indiscretion, it's like, the papers are rubbing their hands in the world. Yeah, they're rubbing their hands like, let's have it. The fact that he's young and he makes money, I know where you're coming from, because they've done that for Sterling, and they've also done that to Marcus Rashford today, which I will be talking about on my show tomorrow. Yeah. They did that to him today, which was disgusting. But this is where we are. I feel as though had he been a young Caucasian player, in the case of Phil Foden, I do feel as though it would have just been kind of swept under the carpet. Like, Rooney's done a lot of bad things. Ryan Giggs has done a lot of bad things. And it doesn't rumble on.
Argue the worst thing for Ryan Giggs.
It doesn't rumble on. Like, you could easily have forgotten about it. Like, the amount it was mentioned, it was a very brief mention. Like, it was a couple of days thing, and then it was kind of, let's move on to the next topic. Rooney's done a lot of bad things. A couple of days in the paper, it's swept under the carpet. So I feel as though there is a racist agenda, personally, through the media. But moving on from that, what do you think Solskjaer should do with Mason Greenwood going forward?
I think it depends on how he feels. So if Greenwood feels like he's mentally able to play, if he does have any kind of mental health issues, which we don't know whether that's true or not, and if it was true, I don't think anyone would confirm it at the club anyway, to be honest. If he's fit to play mentally, physically, he should play. Why not?
So the way I think Solskjaer has managed his players in the same way, he took Maguire out for a game, and now I think it's easier for Solskjaer to take Mason Greenwood out. Being a young player, there are a few other options to play.
Yeah, he's not expected to play every game anyway, I guess.
It was a bigger deal. Club captain, main centre back. Other centre backs are injured / unproven. So I think his hand was forced. But I think the way forward for now is to take Mason Greenwood out of the firing line. When it's time, bring him back in. Obviously, if there's desperation, we can bring him back in. But I don't think there's any need to do it going forward.
I think it'll be a bit extreme to completely leave him out of the squad. If he's on the bench, gets a few minutes here and there, up until there's a need for him to play, or he is actually 100% to play, then he should be on the pitch at that point in time.
But if it continues, all it needs now is for Mason Greenwood to have a bad game, miss an open goal, then the rumour mill will go into overdrive again. Like, you're getting all these, he misplaced a pass and he kicked off with Bruno, all of this sort of crap coming out. So the pressure's on him now. Do you think he will be able to perform under this pressure?
So far, he has. He's been under some extreme pressure. He's actually broken through as a really kind of young lad. Everyone's been saying he's got his right foot and his left foot are both the same. He's an amazing finisher, etc. So he's had that pressure on him quite early on, to be fair, and he's done well. I think he'll.
I think most of it was praise.
Do well. Yeah,
I think praise, a lot of it still, at the beginning was praise.
It's pressure still. It's still pressure.
Yeah, but now it's
are you able to live up? Yeah, it's a different kind of pressure. Only Greenwood would know if he can handle that pressure. But from what I've seen so far, I can't see it being an issue.
I think it's for Solskjaer to determine. Obviously, most players, like I said, they want to play on when they're injured, probably want to play on through the tough times. But I think it's up to Solskjaer to decide.
If he's doing the job. And so, but obviously, there's another rumor, in fact, which links in that when he comes to training, he's not 100%. He's very lazy, apparently. He's not running for the ball. There's another rumor. So what I was going to say was, if he's doing 100% in training, he's looking sharp, he's looking fit, then that will suggest he is ready to play. And if he's not, that means there are some issues that need to be resolved before he can actually start to integrate again into the first team.
Just a quick aside, which I'll probably mention tomorrow as well, that there's another Man United player who's accused of being lazy and not running a lot, which is Anthony Martial. Do you see a theme here? Because I don't know where this has come from. Where did this actually come from? Have you ever seen Anthony Martial not running or looking lazy? Just the fact that he doesn't smile has now automatically, even like some United fans will think, Martial in it, come on Martial, give it a bit. But he's not doing it.
I think all the fans, or a lot of the fans in the UK, they just kind of want that kind of rough and tumble style. That's not the way he plays.
No, but that's the media. It came through from the media though. I used to see it on like Match of the Day and stuff like that. Everyone would say it like, oh, he hasn't got a smile on his face, therefore he
doesn't need to have a smile on his face.
This is what I mean. Like,
yeah, he doesn't need to.
Our players,
he's French.
Are being labeled as these, like, let's not like rude, but given negative connotations, whereas other players are not, who are probably performing a lot worse. But anyway, that's something to discuss. I'll probably be talking about this in depth in a very controversial first episode of one of the shows I'm going to be doing in the morning. I don't know. We'll probably do a poll. We'll do a poll. Do a poll on Instagram. Follow us on the Redflex official on Instagram, where the poll will come up. I'll think of a couple of names of the show that we can do, and then we'll take it from there. We'll let you, the fans, decide. Is there anything else you want to say on this topic before we call it?
I mean, at this moment in time, I don't think it's to do with race. I think it's just because he's been kind of bigged up. He's been hyped up to be this like the next best English striker. I mean, that's been in the press. So if there was an agenda early on, they wouldn't have probably said that in the first place. I think with time, if it continues, like the issue with Raheem Sterling, if you're asking about Raheem Sterling, I think, yeah, that could potentially be to do with race, because a lot of things have happened. Maybe this is kind of going to go that way as well. But at this moment in time, I don't think it's to do with race or anything linked to that.
Anyway, I respectfully disagree, but that's what this show's all about. This is what this channel's all about. This is what our community is all about. Everyone has a different opinion, even brothers. So thank you for watching the Redflex, the one and only channel in the whole world run by 4 Manchester United supporting brothers who don't always agree, but who are from Manchester. So thank you very much for joining us. Check out the rival show in the morning, the Red Express with Cass. And at some point during the day, I'll be going live with my as yet unnamed show. But thank you very much, guys, for all of your support. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff. And I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.